Hi, I'm Dennis Wong.
And I'm Mario Pino. Welcome to another edition of the Mario and Dennis Show. So it looks like the president is under scrutiny this week.
Yes, there's quite a bit of controversy over President Obama's trade-off of hostage Sergeant Bergdahl and the trading of 5 Taliban prisoners of war for his release. There is word of Obama's call for impeachment due to the fact that he did not give Congress a 30-day notice. From what I understand, this whole situation, it all happened immediately. According to Senator Dick Durbin of Illinois, he had said that they really only found out a day ahead of time when the transfer was going to take place, and only an hour ahead of where it was going to take place. So there was not a 30-day chance to give notice to the people.
Right, which is a process that it's supposed to take. And the funny thing is that the president has the power to do that.
Right.
He has the power to do it, but it's still impeachable offense. Because there are 3 reasons that a president can be impeached. It's bribery, it's treason, and it's also high crimes and misdemeanors.
Right.
So I think this either falls under bribery or treason because they use the taxpayers' money.
Yes, they did.
The taxpayers' money.
They did.
Which is why he should have done the 30-day notice
There was something
process.
about like $570 billion defense that was being spent in the situation. So.
Right. Well, I don't know where to go with this because I guess he thought he did what he should have done, and now it's just going to bite him in the rear, and it's not a good space to be in.
The thing is, though, if he had given the 30-day notice, there would have been something would have been leaked, more than likely, so which would have hindered the getting the sergeant out in time in a safe manner. So it's a catch-22. So if he did that, and the whole thing had happened like that, then Obama would have been being yelled at because, you didn't get him out in time, he's still stuck there, and this and that. So it's a catch-22.
Right, we leak our own stuff.
Of course.
I mean, if you're a terrorist living in the U.S., just turn on CNN, and you'll know what our next steps are. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Yes.
And we've always done that.
That's why I only watch the Food Network.
That's right, of course. Right, that's because you want to learn about leaks.
Yes, exactly.
So, good news. Good news for New Bedford. The Charles W. Morgan is coming home on Saturday, June 28th, and will stay docked at the State Pier until Sunday, July 6th. Now, this ship was built in New Bedford in 1841 and is the last wooden whale ship in the world. During the Morgan stay, New Bedford will be celebrating with concerts and programs, regattas, whaleboat races, and parades, and much, much more throughout the city. Now, if you want more information, you can check that out in the newly revamped New Bedford website, which is a great website. They just revamped it.
Right.
It looks awesome. Or you can turn to charleswmorgannewbedford.org. It's going to be a fun week.
I think it will be. And I think what's special about it is the last wooden ship that exists, and it's great that it is coming back to New Bedford. And I'm sure everyone is going to be up in arms. It's going to be very exciting. Everyone's going to be really thrilled, and it seems also like the whole summer there's a lot of other festivities that are happening also throughout the summer in New Bedford.
Right.
I would love to see this ship. I mean, I don't know. It would be pretty cool. Just imagine all the termites, though.
Yeah, can you imagine? Called termite control.
Right.
I think and I think that. I love when New Bedford does that, and they have all of these festivities in the summer downtown. Right. That's what downtown needs.
Exactly.
Providence does it, Boston does it, P-Town, Newport, and we need more of it here. The one thing I have to say, and I think this goes to no one in particular, but if we want to increase tourism, we have to have those type of events take place during the summer, and especially on the weekends. Now I know when the Urban Grill was open, Mother's Day was packed at the restaurant, and none of the retailers were open, which was a shame because it was a perfect opportunity for them to bring in that extra business. Sunday, nobody wants to work on Sunday, but in New Bedford, downtown especially, if you're going to bring in the tourists, then we need all the businesses to cooperate and do what they can to bring in that extra revenue.
Of course. 100%. Well, America's favorite thoroughbred horse, California Chrome's owner, Steve Coburn, went on a tirade after his horse, California Chrome, lost the Belmont Stakes, which the horse would have been a Triple Crown winner. For our viewers who aren't familiar with the Belmont Stakes, it's an American Grade 1 stakes thoroughbred horse race held every June in Belmont Park in Elmont, New York. It is a 1.5-mile horse race, open to 3-year-old thoroughbreds. Coburn was interviewed right after the race and stated that it was unfair that the horse that had won, Tonalist, did not compete in either of the 2 previous races. So the horse was not as tired as the other 3 that actually did it. On Monday, he apologized for his comments on national TV, saying that he was wrong and he didn't know what to say. He apologized to Belmont Stakes, he apologized to the owners, and I don't know, I would call it maybe a little bit of poor sportsmanship. What do you think?
Well, I think, in the heat of the moment, I think we're all guilty of saying things that we don't mean.
Right.
And then when we take a look back, we realize it was wrong and we apologize.
Right.
I think that's big of an individual to do, because there are those folks that, like Donald Sterling, even though he knew he was wrong,
right,
didn't apologize until, I don't even know when he did, but I know it wasn't immediately after. So are you asking, should we accept these apologies?
Right.
Do you think they're being handed out like, excuses? And
that's something I've been thinking about lately, because people always say, stand up, admit it, admit to it, and that's it. And he did, but own it. That's a big phrase these days. People say, just own it,
Right.
And I admire him for coming across and apologizing. I mean, I wouldn't compare him to Sterling, of course not, because that's just 2 different. Really, and one seems a little more intelligent than the other. But also, it's like, there's this whole little quick thing, like Justin Bieber, how he had referenced the awful word, and now he's like being baptized, and supposedly there's this new thing out that he had saved some baby's life because the doctor and the nursing staff all started singing a Bieber song, and the baby got really happy.
It was a white baby.
I think it was I hope it was a white baby. But I don't know. I really don't know where to go with this, because I know I've said things, and then you think back like half an hour or a day later, you're like, oh wow, that was really, really stupid. I'm sorry. But how often can you keep on saying that?
Right.
If it's a one-time, two-time thing, but if you continuously find yourself doing it, then they always say, think before speaking.
Right. And sometimes it's hard depending on the situation and the moment.
Right.
And the apology is also as meaningful as the way it's delivered. If there's no sincerity in it, then don't waste your time.
Right.
So, I don't say anything that I have to apologize for because I'm perfect.
Of course.
But I guess if I did, then I would absolutely apologize. And I think, the whole Justin Bieber thing is blown so out of proportion.
It's
you're crucifying this kid for something he did when he was 15, 16. I mean, how many 15, 16-year-olds do we know say things that are not PC?
Right.
A lot of them.
I think a lot of adults do too.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. But don't crucify a child.
Right. Well, what I heard also is that the thoroughbred, California Chrome, it's coming out. He's speaking with High Time Horse Times magazine about his feeling about losing the Belmont Stakes. So I'm really going to look forward to that, because it's going to be a lot of horse.
Right. And the last interview they did with the horse, I think, was Mr. Ed. So
Right.
this should be really interesting.
Yeah. I think Minnie Pearl did that interview with Mr. Ed.
I think she did too. She looked like Mr. Ed. Anyways, Malaysian Flight 370 made headlines again with a video-led fundraising effort, which was on the web this week, and it's to raise $5 million. The money is to be used for uncovering clues not yet discovered and to pursue the evidence without interference from parties who are also liability holders in this case. Now, the video includes several family members of the 239 passengers. So far, Malaysia itself has spent $8.6 million for the search, and this doesn't include any funds that may have been contributed by other countries or agencies. Now, I've seen this video, and you can see it on Indiegogo.com, which is a website that was created for organizations or individuals who are trying to raise money for a specific project or a dream. I mean, one of them was a couple of kids were raising money to do a music video.
Oh, right. Okay.
They hadn't raised any yet, though, unfortunately.
Right. That's a shame.
It's a shame. Now, it is a 3-minute video. I did want to show, I think it's important that we show viewers what it's about. We're not going to show the whole clip. We're just going to show you a short clip, and we'll be right back after this video. That was a very touching video.
It really was.
I think what gets me are the families holding up the names of
With
their
the
loved
ages
ones.
and
Yeah,
the ones that are
it's
missing.
really, really sad. And I wish them luck. Someday we'll find this plane.
I hope so.
We're all looking for answers.
I don't know. Sometimes some things shouldn't take that long, and supposedly there might be a cover-up. They don't know. That's
what
why they've taken it into their own hands.
Yeah,
because
and I think they believe that as well. Absolutely, absolutely.
Right.
Well, looks like Baltimore City was busy.
Baltimore City was pretty busy. A father took matters into his own hands when a 42-year-old teacher was caught sending inappropriate texts to his 15-year-old daughter. The girl's mother called the police, and upon further investigation, they discovered texts sent back and forth between the student and the teacher. The teacher then, for some reason, showed up at the young girl's house to talk it out with her, and the father hit him with a baseball bat. Although the teacher sustained minor injuries, he does not plan to press charges.
Now, let's just clarify, this was not New Bedford High School.
This wasn't New Bedford High School,
This is Baltimore City.
Yes.
It's nice to see that other towns are experiencing what we are. We're not the only ones.
Yeah.
All right, well, that wraps up this portion of our news segment.
Yes.
CJ is going to take us to the E3 convention. He's going to go over that. And right after CJ is done, we'll hit you up with our entertainment segment. We'll be right back.
Take it away, CJ.
Thanks, Mario and Dennis. Welcome back, guys, to another segment of What's Hot. E3, the Electronic Entertainment Expo, took place Sunday, June 9th, and with it came loads of new games and awesome game trailers. Unfortunately, we only have time to cover the top 2 of the most anticipated games to be released. Up first is Rocksteady's final installment in trilogy ending, Batman Arkham Knight. The game takes place all in one night in an attempt to stop the Caped Crusader once and for all. 1 year after the death of the Joker during the events of Arkham City, Batman is struggling to come to terms with the absence of his nemesis and the uncomfortable feeling that the pair shared a bond deeper than either could imagine. Without the Joker's chaotic presence, Gotham's citizens have never felt safer, and crime in the city has dramatically declined. However, this gives Batman's enemies, including Penguin, Two-Face, and Harley Quinn, a chance to unite with the singular goal of killing Batman. Uncharted 4: Thieves' End, multiple years after the events of Uncharted 3: Drake's Deception, Nathan Drake, who retired as a fortune hunter, will embark on a globe-trotting journey in pursuit of historical conspiracy behind a fabled pirate treasure. It's his greatest adventure yet and will test his physical limits, his resolve, and ultimately what he's willing to sacrifice to save the ones he loves. Upcoming action-adventure video game published by Sony Entertainment and developed by Naughty Dog exclusively for the PlayStation 4. It was teased at Spike TV's PS4 launch event on November 14th, 2013. A full in-engine trailer confirmed the title during Sony's E3 2014 press conference on June 9th. The game is set to release in 2015. That's about all the time I have today, folks. I hope to see you next week when we venture in on the most controversial video games ever.
Thanks, CJ. I love video games. I wish I had gone to the E3 convention.
Right.
Yeah, that would have been incredible. Let's hope if they come out with a video for The Edge of Tomorrow, it does much better than Tom Cruise's movie.
I hope so.
This past weekend, his $180 million movie, Edge of Tomorrow, brought in a miserable $30 million this weekend. Internationally, it did better, with China leading the way. Go figure.
Okay.
You have to give us some insight next week.
Exactly.
Although he has 4 upcoming films, which include 3 sequels and 1 remake, does Tom Cruise still have what it takes to bring in the money? Now, this isn't the first movie with a time loop. So, is it the movie that failed, or is it the inability for Tom Cruise to attract an audience? Now, keep in mind, he's only 1 year younger than George Clooney, and George Clooney, he does phenomenally. I mean, he
can still
picks
pack
the right
the audience
movies,
and yes.
pack the audience. I just don't know if he has it anymore.
I think maybe Tom should retire from action-packed films and do something, maybe a comedy, or I don't know, possibly a love story. I mean, you know, the movie that came out the same weekend was Shailene Woodley's film,
Fault in Our Stars.
Fault in the Stars, and it doubled. It didn't double, but it did by far much better than Tom Cruise's movie. And word is, it's who's the audience that you want to attract? You know, and it seems like right now, it's the girls who want a love story and see the romance and all this, and they don't. I think a lot of people are sick and tired of action films. I mean, if I want to see an action film, I just take a shower. You know? That's like
Isn't that called a sleeper?
Yeah. Really funny, really funny. Well, anyways, Sandra Bullock's house was broken into while she and her son were home. The 39-year-old Joshua Corbett was charged with felony burglary as stalking and possession of a machine gun. He didn't have the machine gun on him, but it was found.
Well, that's good.
Which was found later. He wasn't there to steal anything other than to maybe spend some time with Sandra or say hello and all of that. You know, it was somewhat harmless. But Sandra Bullock has had a history of stalkers, including the 47-year-old Marsha Valentine in 2007 and Thomas James Weldon, 46, who is alleged to have been stalking her since 2003. Bullock is now receiving around-the-clock protection, which I think makes sense. And the thing is, you know, she was at the Spike Awards in LA on Saturday, and then she came home after that. And it's sort of freaky because they were sleeping in the house. And they say supposedly he was spending he was there for 4.5, 5 hours.
That is strange.
And she has all these cameras and barbed wire and all that.
Right, so how do you get in? How do you get in there like that?
I don't know.
Well,
he could be a magician, or
he could be. He could be. Would you mess with someone who's going out with Captain America?
I would not, and I'm surprised she didn't hear him and wake up as Miss Congeniality, making some cupcakes or muffins or something. You know,
exactly.
Sit down, have a glass of champagne, here's some homemade muffins.
Yeah, she probably can't cook. She's cute.
She can cook. I bet you she can cook. She'll probably make some good BBQ ribs.
Probably. Her maid does. Anyways, great news for Avatar fans. James Cameron recently announced that there will be 3 more Avatar sequels. Sam Worthington, Zoe Saldana, and Stephen Lang will reprise their original roles. And interesting enough, Sigourney Weaver, who was killed off in the original movie, will be coming back for the other sequels. Right. Cameron doesn't know what character she will be, so that hasn't been announced. And you know, this is someone who has had a relationship with Cameron since 1985 when they worked with Aliens.
Yes.
Right. So it's not very often that they kill off a character and then bring them back as someone new.
Right.
Usually they either had a dream and woke up and they were actually alive, or they had a twin sister that was killed off and it wasn't really them. Right. But it'll be interesting to see how he spins this one into
I think so. Actually, I just saw the movie the other day. It was on, I think, on the television. And it's really amazing what they've done. And I think I did mention in one episode that they're thinking of bringing it on stage or something. I had heard it, but I haven't heard it again. I only heard it once. My question is, do you think Zoe Saldana is going to bring the Rosemary's Baby with her? The demon child? That could become part of the script?
Could be. Probably would need very little makeup. Right. Since it already looks demonic.
That's true.
Well, that will be interesting. We'll have to take a look.
Well, everyone's favorite, I guess, boy toy, I would consider a boy toy, Casper Smart is denying the affair he had with transgender model and may file a lawsuit. He is weighing in on his options on how to take the appropriate actions to take against Christina Marie.
Or the Sun.
Or the Sun, right.
So that tells me he's just trying to figure out where he can get the most money from.
Right. Well, the Sun, if people don't know, it's a British publication.
Right. Yes. It's you might say it's equivalent to the Inquirer.
Yes.
It's perfect reading material. Very accurate.
Well, I mean, also, I think he was caught saying that he doesn't want to be in Jennifer Lopez's shadow anymore. So people are sort of watching him what's he going to do now? I mean, because he wants to not stop being a dancer supposedly and move on, and I have no idea where he's.
Well, I mean, if he wants to make a name for himself, that's great. I just don't think this is the right way to do it.
Well, you know what? Since the big trend right now is doing remakes of movies, maybe he could be in the new American Gigolo.
Could be, or maybe he could be in Priscilla, Queen of the Desert.
Or Flashdance.
Because
he was a dancer.
Anyways, enough of Casper.
Yeah, I know. He's a ghost anyways.
Yeah.
Disappear ghost.
Angela Bassett makes her directorial debut as she takes on a Lifetime movie of a lifetime. It's a biopic of the late Whitney Houston. Yaya DaCosta, who is a model, has been cast to play the iconic entertainer, and according to reports, Rihanna, Jennifer Hudson, Vivica Fox, Jordan Sparks, and Willow Smith are all in the running to play Houston at different points in her life. This has stirred up some conflict in the Houston household as Whitney's daughter, Bobby Christina, fights back. The Houston family feels that Whitney is more deserving than the small screen flick, and the word is that the Houston family plans on developing a major motion picture. Sort of like the idea of Michael Jackson. You know, a major motion picture, earn more money, make it a hit, hopefully. I don't see Bobby Christina as Whitney Houston. I don't think she...
Not at all. And I think it's sort of creepy why she would want to play her mother.
Right. Apparently, she had this discussion with her mother before she died.
I hope so.
Unless it was in a seance. But they had these discussions in the past, and Whitney supposedly had told Christina that she would like her to play her if it ever got to that point.
If it ever got to the point. I really don't think it's qualified for like a major motion picture.
I don't think so either. And
You know.
and I'm not usually cruel to children because I love kids, but she's not the prettiest thing. I mean, I don't see it.
Isn't the father Bobby Brown?
Yeah.
I mean, okay.
We know where she got her looks from, unfortunately.
I mean, that's Butterface, you know?
Yeah. Oh boy.
I don't know.
Anyways,
We'll see.
what's happening with Rob?
Rob Kardashian has asked his mother, Kris Jenner, to actually shut up about him. Kris spoke on a talk show noting that he is doing well and that he is a good kid. What Rob really wants is just to start leading his private life and to leave him out of any of the press that the Kardashian show or the family are doing. I agree with that. If he wants to get press, let him do it. Let him handle it. He doesn't need his mother or anybody else hovering over him right now. It's a decision that he has to do. You know, hello, Weight Watchers. Hi, yeah, Rob.
Right, exactly.
You know?
Exactly. I want to look like Jennifer Hudson.
Right.
But the thing is, what I had read was that she was on the Today Show.
Yes.
And she was trying to put out the rumors that were stirring about her forcing him to lose the weight. So I think it was just done innocently.
Right.
She was just trying to dispel that rumor and just say her son's doing well. You know, he can take it personally if he'd like to, and he could, you know, again, we go back to celebrities and personal
Right.
lives. He doesn't have a personal life. It doesn't
No, he
exist.
doesn't.
You're part of the Kardashian clan. It is what it is. Suck it up, move on. Lose the weight, don't lose the weight. I personally could care less.
Right.
It really comes down to health issues.
Right.
You know? What are you going to do?
I guess so, exactly.
Oscar winner Matthew McConaughey will be this year's American Cinematheque honoree. American Cinematheque Award annual honors an extraordinary artist in the entertainment industry who is fully engaged in his or her work and is committed to making a significant contribution to the art of motion picture. Now, the American Cinematheque chairman said Matthew McConaughey is the epitome of what a Hollywood star should be. An adventurous, joyous, and ever-growing talent combined with matinee idol looks and an unshakable sense of who he is and what he stands for. The Oscar winner will receive the award on October 21st at the Cinematheque's annual gala to be held at the Beverly Hilton Hotel. Not to be confused with the Beverly Hills Hotel.
Yes, two separate.
Which no one goes. Don't go there.
Nobody goes there, as we said in our last.
Don't go. And last year's recipient was Ben Stiller.
Right.
I don't see him having matinee idol looks, though. So perhaps that was something they added this year when Matthew won.
Right. Well, I do see Ben Stiller having a little bit of a matinee idol.
He's kind of quirky, which is nice. Quirky's nice.
Quirky's nice. I mean, don't you think Jerry Lewis had a matinee idol sort of appeal?
Not now. Have you seen him
Well,
lately?
I have. Don't. That's so mean. I
Not
like
now.
Jerry Lewis.
Sorry, Jerry.
Lady! Well, Hugh Jackman did the most phenomenal job hosting the 68th Annual Tony Awards. He really is a man with just extraordinary talent.
He is.
I'm blown away.
Incredible. That takes an incredible amount of endurance to hop from beginning to end. I don't know. I would probably make it to 20 hops max.
Right, and
that's it.
there were some scenes because he is so tall. There was like a chance of him hitting his head on the
Right.
ceiling because
Right.
in the backstage of Radio City Music Hall, it's very low ceilings.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't know how Frankenstein and Eddie Munster or Herman Munster would have gotten through.
Right. Well, they can't hop. Maybe do
That's
a crawl.
with those big, thick,
Right.
platform boots of his. Yes.
Which is out.
Yeah.
Anyways, not too many people may know this, but that was an homage to 1953's Small Town Girl, in which Bobby Van hopped his way through town to street dance. So I was taken back at the very beginning because I was thinking, well, where is this leading to, or where is this coming from? And there you go. There's the answer.
They did show it when he was, and one scene when he was going through the hallway on a flat screen. They did have the actual video of the movie with him hopping up onto the sidewalk.
Exactly.
Yes. Well, as usual, celebrities arrived in style at the Tony Awards as they walked the red carpet, wearing incredible fashions and looking fabulous. Some of our favorites included Emmy Rossum in a wonderful, beautiful Ralph Lauren collection gown. Also, Tony winner Sophie Okonedo wore a Sophie Thalay, which was one of my favorites. It was a black velvet gown and with like an organza and lace waistband, which was so chic and so amazing. Tony Award winner also Audra McDonald. I don't know about her choice because she did go with a very bold printed dress, an Escada dress. Yeah. I don't think it was right for the Tonys.
No,
I could see more of like a summer party.
This reads luau all over it.
Okay, luau, yes.
All it was missing, if she had brought a roasted pig with her, it would have been a luau.
Right, and then she could have gotten a leg.
Right.
One of my other favorites was Lucy Liu. I mean,
Wonderful.
Stunning. And there's not a lot of people who could pull off the designer Vivienne Westwood that did the gown. It was amazing. And Jennifer Hudson wore a Kaufman Franco gown, a beautiful simple silver sleeveless sheath dress.
And lucky for her, it was before she lost all that weight. If not, she would have looked like a turkey wrapped in aluminum foil.
Or a disco ball.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Spin that around a few times.
Right. Well, history was made that evening at Radio City Music Hall when Audra McDonald won her 6th Tony Award for Best Lead Actress in a Play. She cinched the title of most wins in history. Wow. The Broadway singer-actress won for her performance as Billie Holiday in Lady Day at Emerson's Bar and Grill.
And can we just touch upon an incredible performance of Neil Patrick Harris?
Oh, absolutely.
As he sung Sugar Daddy, which is from Hedwig and the Angry Inch. Mm-hmm. You know, again, him going from small screen to theater and watching that transformation is incredible.
Mm-hmm. The way he's progressed and developed from Doogie Howser to now.
Right.
Well, I heard that if Neil Patrick Harris, and Madonna were to have a baby, the baby would look just like Hedwig. It really would, I think, right?
Possibly. It would be a miracle if they
jumping
did.
on cars and curlers in the hair and
Oh boy. You wanted to do a shout out.
I wanted to do a shout out. Right? Yes. One last shout out. I really wish the U.S. soccer team good luck at the World Cup in Brazil. May they rock, and there's this whole thing going on of all these celebrities saying, I believe that we can win. So good luck, team.
Good luck. Hey.
I mean, yeah, whoa, goal. Yeah.
Well, that wraps up another edition of the Dennis and Mario Show. Don't forget to like our Facebook page and tweet us your thoughts, comments, or just plain nothings. We now close with an outrageous clip featuring J-Lo and Jimmy Fallon
from The Tonight Show.
From The Tonight Show in their rendition of Tight Pants. I'm Mario.
And I'm Dennis.
Have a great night.
Bye.